In India, we have already studied different drainage lines, drainage patterns, and drainage systems. The river network and its study is very important in India, as the nervous system in our body is important. In the same way, the drainage lines studied in India is important because it always flows the water and it cleans the land and provides water for different purposes in India. In our ancient culture Vedas, there is a slok or mantra which was being used in ancient India and it has today also relevance. Gange cha yamune chaiva godavari saraswati narmade sindhu kaveri jalesmin sannidham kuru. It shows that India was integrated nation and its integration was by these rivers and these collectively made India pious land, and today it is also relevant because there is proposal of the river interlinking which will enrich the nation in different ways that we are going to discuss, and these rivers are the nervous system of India which strengthens India in different ways. Today we are going to study the major and minor drainage basins of India and along with that the great water divide of India and importance. Why should we study different rivers of India? Because most part of India is covered with the drainage basins. Here if you see that the total geographical area of India is 3.28 million kilometers square and the total catchment area in India is 3.05 million kilometers square. Here you are seeing that the land area of India is more while the land under catchment area of the rivers is less. Why? This may be a question from you, the answer of which is that the difference is due to the exclusion of the desert of Rajasthan north of Luni river. Here it is Luni river to its north, Jaisalmer, and the adjoining districts are completely arid where rainfall is much less and there is no drainage, no overland flow because here limited rainwater is being absorbed in dry sand. That's why it does not fall in catchment area. Hence, there is difference between the total area of India and the area under catchment. And here it shows that most part of land is drained by a river and these river basins are of different sizes and these have been on the basis of their size put in three categories. Number one, major drainage basin, then medium drainage basin, then small drainage basin. Major drainage basins are 14 in number. 3 north of Cancer, which are river Indus, second Ganga, third Sampawar Brahmaputra. These are located to the north of Tropic of Cancer. Between Tropic of Cancer and 20° north latitude, there are 4 major drainage basins. Number 1, Sabarmati, 2, Mahi, 3, Narmada, 4, Tapi. Thus, 3 major drainage basins to the north of Cancer, 4 major drainage basins between Tropic of Cancer, 20° north latitude, and then remaining major drainage basins are here 8th one Suvarnarekha, then 9th Brahmani, 10th Mahanadi, 11th Godavari, 12th Krishna, 13th Pennar, and 14th Kaveri. Thus, in all, there are 14 drainage basins in India, and these cover maximum area. Then, in second category, medium drainage basins are there, and you are seeing this map where medium, especially medium, and some minor drainage basins are located. These are drainage lines, and if their catchment area is demarcated, that forms a drainage basin, which we have studied on a separate map and video. And there are minor drainage basins also. It is your duty to go through these drainage basins starting from their point of origin to their mouth. For example, here if we start river Indus originating from here near Kailash mountain, it moves northwest, in which drain river Nubra and river Syok, and this drains after Jammu and Kashmir to the land territory of Pakistan. Then it is here Jhelum, which originating from India Jammu Kashmir line runs for some distance along the Indo-Pak border, and this is river Chenab, Ravi, Satluj. Thus you will observe the basins from their source to their end point and study in detail the dams located on that and the states and districts through which they drain. In the same way, here it is river Yamuna, Ganga, Gandak, Kali, Tista, Brahmaputra, and other tributaries. These are the Himalayan rivers that we have studied separately, and here the rivers originating from plateau are Chambal, Betwa, Ken, Son, and these plateau rivers pour down their plateau waters in the Yamuna and Ganga. Thus, this form a great drainage pattern. In the same way, here it is river Luni, and here in Gujarat, Sabarmati, Mahi, here Narmada, Tapi, and other rivers are draining to the Arabian Sea. For example, this is Shatrunjo river, here Shatrunjo mountain is also located. Then here it is river Ambika, Vaitarni, Vilas, Savitri, and Mandvi, Juari, Kali Nadi, and so on. This way you will keep this map in mind. These are the medium and minor rivers. Along the east coast, there are a number of rivers. If you travel along the coastline, you will get here that it is river Hooghly, then here it is Damodar, and here it is Mahanadi. In the major rivers, it is Suvarnarekha, Brahmani, and Mahanadi. In major river we have discussed. Then in medium rivers, it is Rushikulya, Vamsadhara, and Nagavati, Sarda, and so on. A number of minor rivers are located here on the east coast plain, which originate from here the East Ghat mountain. Thus, it is very important to keep these in mind. And after keeping this map of rivers in mind, it is also very important to think, to understand why the study of these rivers is important. Now, we have to keep the importance of these rivers in mind. First point is study of overland flow and surface runoff. In India, there is monsoon rain and some glacial fed rivers are there. These rivers have their catchment area and surface flow area. Surface flow area is drained by those rivers and their tributaries. How the water of that drainage basin will be used for irrigation purpose, for water and especially rainwater harvesting, and for soil conservation and forestry purposes. The study of these rivers is very important. The second importance of the study is the study of the subsurface water. As India is an agricultural country and it requires water for irrigation, drinking and other purposes, that's why the subsurface water study is very important, which is largely affected and controlled by the rivers. For example, in the Gangetic plain, the subsurface water is higher contrary to in the plateau area. Even in the Gangetic plain, from east to west, the depth of subsurface water continuously increases. That's why the study of subsurface water is associated with the rivers and their catchment area. And the third point is nature of rock and soil recharge. The drainage basin is controlled by rock and relief. With the help of knowledge of the rate of filtration, we can understand the nature of different rocks. For example, Himalayan rocks, plain rocks, and the plateau and coastal plain rock and soil. Thus, this process of infiltration recharge also help us study the drainage basins. Next is geohydrological mapping and planning of use of groundwater. In India, nearly for all the districts, geohydrological maps have been prepared, which help us the using of the groundwater. And for groundwater, the surface runoff and river water study is very important because both are interrelated. And next point is drainage basin area planning. India has been divided in different major, medium and minor drainage basins, and the water of drainage basin is of different types: rainwater, surface water and groundwater, and that water used is planned in a drainage basins. Hence, the study of drainage basin is very important. Next importance is damming of rivers and uncut aqueduct and barrage reservoir construction. Here, rivers are dammed at proper place proposed by the engineers, planned by the engineers. There are a number of anicuts. For example, here in Cuttack on Mahanadi, there is one anicut. There are several anicuts from reservoirs and barrage. For example, here Harike barrage on Satluj and Farakka barrage on Ganga have been constructed. And when river is dammed, the large reservoirs are constructed from which the canals are taken out for the cultural command area or agricultural irrigation purposes. Thus, these rivers are very important, which are planned from these purposes. Next point is here the river water linking. River water linking. It means in India, some rivers have sufficient water which are perennial, and some rivers are ephemeral, especially in western part of India, which has less amount of water. India government has planned to link all these rivers and to carry the large amount of area, large amount of water in the eastern part of India, causing flood, to the western part of India by water linking. This will solve the dual problem: one, flooding in the eastern part, and drought facing India in the western part. The study of the river and their water amount will help in this type of inter-river linking planning. Next point is command or CCA culturable command area development planning. Suppose a river is dammed at any point. Suppose there any dam like Hirakud on Mahanadi, and from this dam and reservoir a number of canals have been taken out which serve irrigation purpose in the low-lying area, and this irrigated area is called CCA, culturable command area, and amount of the water in that helps decide the CC or culturable command area. Thus, the study of these rivers is very important for hydel and aquaculture planning or purpose. Here in India, there is crisis of energy and abundance of water in rivers, and if rivers are dammed, hydel is produced that will be supplied, and this will solve the energy crisis, and for that hydel production sites are decided on these river courses. And when reservoirs are constructed, fishing navigation are also practiced. Thus the study of this drainage basin in India has its own importance. Next point is soil management. In India, there are different types of soil ranging from plateau, coastal plain, Gangetic plain or Himalayas. These soils are of different natures and are used for different purposes, different crops and forestry, social and agroforestry, for which soil management and conservation is necessary, and if water is available, only then soil conservation may be practiced properly. But if water is not available, here like in Gujarat desert, then no need of conservation of soil and no use of that soil. Next point is flood water harvesting. If one has knowledge of the rainwater or flood water amount in India, its distribution, then that geographer or engineer can manage the flood water harvesting. For example, generally the eastern part of India is flooded, where a number of rivers meet in the Gangetic plain, Assam plain and the east coast plain, and there is frequent flood during the rainy season in India, and this can be managed after the proper knowledge of the drainage basins. That's why for flood water harvesting, the proper knowledge of major and medium drainage basin is important. Next point is navigation. Here the navigation in India is generally oceanic. Along the eastern part of India in Bay of Bengal and the western part of India in Arabian Sea. But here now there is a trend of the river navigation. For example, there are several river navigations wherein the large size ships enter from the Bay of Bengal and they reach in the interior part. For example, Ganga is also navigable river from Haldia to Allahabad, and here river Brahmaputra from Dhupari to Sadia, Godavari also, and Krishna, which will be studied in detail, that there some rivers have been declared as national navigation rivers. Likewise, in western part of India, there are some navigable rivers. Thus, for the planning of navigation of the rivers, the study of rivers and drainage is very important. Next point is management of forestry and social and agroforestry. In India, soil is variegated, amount of rainfall also varies. That's why if the amount of the river water is studied, then these plannings like agroforestry, social forestry may be practiced in a proper way. Knowledge of these basins are important for this purpose also. Next point is interstate and international river water dispute. Here, if you will study these drainage lines exactly their place of origin and their drain line or area, then you can comfortably understand that which type of interstate water may arise, because there are some rivers draining from one state to other state. For example, here from Madhya Pradesh, from MP to UP, like this, like Chambal, Betwa, Ken. Likewise, here rivers originating from Jharkhand to here Odisha, and from Maharashtra to Andhra, and from Karnataka to here Tamil Nadu. A number of river water disputes are there. For example, Kaveri water dispute, Narmada water dispute, and thus inter water disputes are there, which we will study in a separate video. And the knowledge of these drainage lines and drainage basins is also necessary for this purpose also. Next point is interstate and international border dispute. Sometimes river drain along the border of two states, sometimes drain along the border of two countries. The knowledge of these rivers help us to study the geopolitical importance there. For example, here it is river Hariya Bhanga flowing along the border of Bangladesh and India, means West Bengal, and its valley always is shifting towards Bangladesh. Thus, there is a change in the international boundary, and this creates a problem at international level. That the drainage lines along the international boundary are very important geopolitically, and it is our duty to keep these in mind. And this type of international rivers creating problem are given here. For example, the international rivers in India are: number 1, Indus, on which there was a treaty in September 1960 between India and Pakistan. Likewise, the second international river is Jhelum, third is Chenab, fourth is Ravi, fifth is Satluj, sixth is Ganga. Ganga here, India and Bangladesh. Likewise, there are a number of international rivers listed here that you will study on the map of state, map of district separately, because these are the international rivers and create a number of problems related to border dispute, water divide, water dispute and water dispute. These should be kept in mind, and independent questions may be asked by the UPSC. Next point is cradle of civilization. These rivers in India and abroad have been very fertile agricultural land where civilization flourished. For example, in India here, Indus Valley civilization, which shifted later on eastward in here Ganga Valley, then again eastward, then after that it reached here in the Kaveri basin, Godavari basin. Thus, their knowledge of these rivers helps us study the progress of civilization, and even today the civilization is flourishing according these rivers. In future, there may be independent question that there is good scope of the human development, resource development in the valleys of rivers, because generally in the plateau region the valleys are located in a rift, and in those rifts there is rich deposit of coal, where besides coal there is also possibility of geothermal energy and hydel. Thus, there is good scope for the development of the human culture along the river valleys, and these interior areas today in the course of river valleys have much fertility, good possibility, because they are reachable by the navigation or river navigation processes. Thus, it is very important, and there are a number of importance of these river studies. For example, especially along the eastern coastal plain of India, the cyclones coming from the Bay of Bengal hit or enter in the Indian territorial line through the river courses of the east coast plain of India, and the districts located at the mouth of these rivers are generally hit by those disastrous cyclones. For example, along the mouth of river Mahanadi, there is district Jagat Singhpur, which was badly hit by cyclone from Bay of Bengal. Thus, the knowledge of these rivers, and especially from their source to mouth, is very important for the study of the geography of India and the development planning of India. And these are the points you should keep in mind, and for this purpose you have to keep this map in mind. Thus, this is about the major and medium minor basins of India. The second point in this map is the Great Water Divide of India. Great Water Divide is a line on the plateau land or mainland of India, which connects the highest peaks of the Indian plateau land. And when rain occurs on it, this line divides the two drainage systems. One leading to east means Bay of Bengal drainage system, the other leading to the west, the Arabian Sea drainage system. Here, the Great Water Divide starts from the southern point like Mahendragiri peak, and again to its north it is Anaimudi, then on Nilgiri it is Doda Beta, then here Mulangiri, then Kudremukh, Mahabaleshwar, Shatrunjo, and then it runs along this Satpura range. Here the highest peak of Dhupgarh, and here Amarkantak. It turns northwest and runs along the Vindhyachal mountain, its westernmost peak, that is Gumanpur, and then it moves northward, the southern highest peak of Aravalli, Guru Shikhar, then along Aravalli, and here through Simla it reaches Kailash. When rainfall occurs, the maximum amount of rain drains into the Bay of Bengal through different rivers, and some amount of rain to the Arabian Sea through these a number of small rivers. Now take one example to simplify it. Here it is Sri Lanka, where after burning the Lanka, Hanumanji jumped in the Indian Ocean after extinguishing the fire of his tail and body. He first thought to meet Lord Shiva, whose incarnation was he. Then Hanumanji from this Gulf of Mannar first reached here, the southernmost peak of India, that is Mahendragiri. Then he to reach and see Lord Shiva at Kailash started jumping through over the highest peaks of the Indian plateau. Means first he jumped from Mahendragiri to Anaimudi, which was the highest peak, and then to the Nilgiri Doda Beta, then here Kudremukh, Mulangiri, and the water drops from his body dripped along these highest mountain peaks. Then Lord Hanuman reached here at Mahabaleshwar, then Kansubai. You keep in mind that this is the line of Great Water Divide which runs along the highest peaks and ranges of the West Ghat mountain. Then it was a bliss that Lord Hanuman will not cross any river or water body, and this we also know that if there is a cyclone or whirlwind, which is thought that it is wind god, and Lord Hanuman is also supposed wind god, and that whirlwind or storm never crosses any river or water body. Why? It has its climatical answer, because the storm or whirlwind has high temperature and a low pressure at its center, but at its reaches a water body, the temperature at center is decreased, hence cyclone stops, and that cyclone never crosses a water body. That's why Hanumanji never crossed any of the river or water body. Hence, after reaching here near Chandur hill, he turned right hand side, and near Chandur hill, here there is a Rajpipla hill. At this point, Lord Hanuman turned right hand side, and just travelling over the Satpura range, he reached the highest peak of Satpura, Dhupgarh. Then continued and reached here Amarkantakeshwar, where there is again Lord Shiva. Then he never crossed any river, any water body, and with the result turned northwest along here Vindhyachal mountain. He reached the westernmost highest point of this Vindhyachal, that is here Gumanpur peak. From here he avoided any water body. That's why this is river Mahi, source of Mahi, and this is source of Kali Sindh. Along between these two, there is water divide through which Lord Hanuman travelled and reached here at the highest peak of Aravalli, Mount Abu on Guru Shikhar, and then along this Aravalli he travelled here to the west of Delahi Raisena hill, and here is again great water divide, that is the extension of the Aravalli mountain touching here the Shivalik, and it is part of water divide from which the rainwater of eastern part through this Yamuna reaches here in Bay of Bengal, and the rainwater of this area through Satluj and other rivers drain west. At Simla, he did not take any rest, but from here turned here east and reached the Kailash mountain just to visit and offer the prayer of his success to Lord Shiva. And here it is river Indus originating and flowing west. Here it is river Sampo originating and flowing east. Thus, this is a great water divide of India. This is great water divide. Why? Because here the rainwater of India is divided in two systems. One, these rivers form Bay of Bengal system, and these rivers form the Arabian Sea system. And besides this great water divide, there are a number of medium and major water divides that we have studied in separate video. For example, if this is a Ganga system, then in Ganga system there is a Yamuna system from here to here, and in Yamuna system this is river Chambal. Chambal drainage system, or say Chambal drainage basin, has its own identity, which is part of the Yamuna drainage basin, and this Yamuna drainage basin is part of the Ganga drainage basin. Thus, India has been divided in major, medium and minor drainage basins, and this is about the great water divide. There may be question that the great water divide peak's height decreases from south to north. This we have already discussed in plate tectonic of India, especially neotectonic. Here, one task I am giving to you, that you will study these rivers from their source to mouth or main trunk stream, and you will also be ready to answer that whether these rivers are single state or double state, multiple state. because this will help you answering these problems. One very important thing is that this Great Water Divide divides the rainwater of India into parts, and the major part of India is to the east of this Great Water Divide, the drainage system of which is the Bay of Bengal drainage system. Why? Its answer may also be given tectonically, because here the western part of India, that is Great Water Divide, is higher, contrary to the eastern part of India along the east coast plain, Bay of Bengal, has been lowered. Its cause is tectonic, and this neotectonic activity is still taking place because this eastern coastal plain of India is still subsiding, and this western part of India, that is Great Water Divide of India, is still rising. Aravalli is still rising. There may be next question there. Name the states through which this Great Water Divide of India runs, and its exact knowledge is very necessary, which will help you giving a number of answers. For example, here the location of Anaimudi is in Kerala or is in Tamil Nadu. Only map will help you, and if you have exact knowledge that Anaimudi is located in Kerala, only then you can answer that during winter season there is flood in Kerala, because in winter season monsoon comes from northeast to southwest, retreating and winter both, and that Anaimudi is located in Kerala. Hence, the eastern slope of Anaimudi in Kerala will cause very heavy rainfall by the winter monsoon. Hence, there will be flood in Kerala. But if your knowledge of the Anaimudi location is not clear, then you will think that how in Kerala flood in winter season is possible, because in winter this winter monsoon hits the India from the east. Hence, there is heavy rainfall in Tamil Nadu, not possible in Kerala, because in your mind the location of Anaimudi is at water divide. That's why you will be confused. That's why its location is very important, that which are the states in the western India through which this Great Water Divide moves, and this knowledge will also help you giving these answers. Thus this is about the drainage line, drainage pattern, drainage system, major drainage basins, medium drainage basins, and very small drainage basins, and their different scopes and purposes. For example, here is a river Vamsadhara, and it originates from Odisha and drains in Bay of Bengal through Andhra Pradesh. In Odisha, on river Vamsadhara, there is a dam constructed named Narodi. Now, that Narodi dam is dispute between Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, and you can solve that interstate problem only by the exact locational knowledge of these. In the same way, the Kaveri river water dispute, Narmada water river disputes are there. Thus, it is very important to keep this drainage line map in your mind to answer a number of such questions. This is general, but in special, all these questions and their answers will be given in a separate video.